you can see how cloudy that water is. That's from all the starch. So you're going to rinse this 2 times, perhaps 3. And this is with 2 to 3 rinses. Let it soak for 1 minute. After about 5 minutes of soaking, young, knock out the water. And dry out your potatoes. Maybe 2 paper towels here ought to do it. That's good enough. Okay, young. One of the misconceptions I think about cooking is that when you prepare one meal, you have to do it all in one flavor. I don't agree with that. So what we can and should do, if you like a variety of flavors, is to take your potatoes, right? Get 3 bowls like I have here, and you can divide them evenly. Or if you favor one particular flavor over another, it doesn't have to be so even. Okay, so we have roughly 3 portions there, equally divided, roughly. And so let's make 3 different flavors of cubes. So what is going to be common for all 3 is some olive oil, okay, mix that in so that you coat your cubes. All right. Okay, so what is common in every dish is salt. You need some salt. And let's say for the top dish here, we use some dill, dried dill, so, and perhaps some garlic powder. So salt, dill, and garlic powder. So let's mix that up. Like so. All right. Then perhaps for this one, we've got the salt in there, so some garlic powder. And some lemon pepper. So we've got some lemon pepper fries here. So. And for this one, since we already had the salt in there, it can just be plain salt, olive oil and salt. So we give that a toss. Since my hands are contaminated with other seasonings, just toss this. And each one of these bowls can be a 30-minute session in the air fryer or your toaster oven. For our trio of flavors, we should cook them from the most bland to the most flavorful, and that'll minimize the contamination. So we've got our standard salt here, so let's do that one first. Here's our air fryer, our new one, side loading, and I suppose we can just put them in as is. We could use our liner, our parchment filters, but let's just put it in as is. So, got 400 degrees, and let's do 10 minutes and see what that looks like. 10 minutes there. Okay, our 10 minutes is up. Yep, as expected, they're looking fantastic, but not done. So give it a toss, like so. Hey, one fell out. It's all right. Dust it off, blow off the dust. Back in, because my floors are clean. My wife and I clean our floors frequently, so it's perfectly fine. All right, back in. Let's do 400 degrees for another 10 minutes. And let's see what that looks like. Young, another 10 minutes has gone by. That's looking fantastic. Give it a toss. Look at that. Let's see. Hot. Crispy. Delicious. Okay, I would say they're good enough. So 20 minutes total. And Young, I know that for a kid at college living in a dorm or fresh out of college in a flat, you may not have that many dishes and bowls to spare. Know that the bowl that you had the raw potatoes in with the olive oil and the salt is perfectly clean. Just put it right back in. Ouch. Okay, now we know this thing flies out. New air fryer. Okay, so we've got that. It's looking pretty good. See, one single serving of salt and olive oil cube fries. Now let's do the next. Okay. We call our salt, garlic powder, and dill cube fries. Swish that around a little bit, dump it into the bucket. And since we have a little experience now, we know that we had taken 2 10-minute sessions. So, well, I was going to say, so just do 1 20-minute session, but we do want to toss the cubes at the halfway point so that we can get some browning and crisping on multiple sides. So again, let's do 10 minutes and then we'll flip them and do another 10 at 400. And we'll be back in 10. 10 minutes is up. The first 10 minutes. You can see, as expected, it's a nice good roast. Not all the way though. And we learned from the last time, or the first batch, not to toss these. So we can mix it to ensure that we get a nice roasty on both sides. Right, you can see how they are swishing around in there, so nothing is sticking. Back in for the final 20 minutes, because from experience, we have come to learn that for these cube fries in this air fryer at 400, it takes a total of 20 minutes. So let's set another 10 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, the remaining 10 minutes have elapsed. Oh, you can see how nice and roasty they are. And again, our original bowl that we used to apply the seasonings on the raw potato can be reused as a container, since they already contain some of the flavorings, seasonings, and olive oil. Oop, there we go again. Okay. Now I do need to point out, Young, this reusing of the original bowl or container, that only applies to some fresh veggies. You would not do that with raw meat. So if you have a bowl that contains your pork butt or your raw chicken, whatever, prior to cooking, for your seasoning, discard that bowl. Put it in the sink, wash it. Do not reuse that for your cooked meat product. Okay, now on to our third batch. As you can see here, of our original 3 flavors, the salt, garlic powder, and dill, and our lemon pepper, which is remaining. Since it's kind of wet, I'm going to use one of my parchments. So recall, we got ourselves a batch of these pie crust looking parchments for the air fryer. So dump that in there, and that'll contain the moisture. Give your potatoes another toss, and into the air fryer we go. And we'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes, which is a halfway point. You can see it's looking pretty good. We'll stir that. Nothing is sticking. And we'll go another 10 minutes and we should be fine. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. And here we are. And it's looking quite fantastic. So again, I've got the bowl that we were using to season our potatoes with. It's perfectly fine to put the cooked potatoes back in because it does not involve raw meat. And it hasn't been laying out for a long period of time either. So it's perfectly safe. So let's see. Let's get the parchment out and we can dump it out. So you can see here perfectly roasted cube fries. And in about 20 minutes. So we have our 3 batches of cube fries: salt, garlic powder and dill, and garlic powder and lemon pepper. So after you've eaten your meal, for leftovers, stick them into a good Ziploc bag. I lost one. It's a goner. But my floors are clean, so back in my mouth. So try to get as much air out as possible, and as much as you can. All right. Slap these in your freezer. Then you can take them out as a part of your meal or as a snack. Straight from freezer to toaster oven or freezer to air fryer. They make a great quick snack.